Hi everyone, Christina Werner here. Welcome to another video for SimonsStamp.com. Today I'm going to be using one of these 4 pre-printed cards. These are the hand-lettered greeting cards in the latest release from Simon, just came out last week. There are 4 fun phrases that you can use as sort of a starting point for your card fronts. These are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 tall. They're the perfect size for an A2 card. I'm going to be using the one that says love you, as well as pairing it with a brand new stencil from that same release. I'm using the Daisy Bouquet stencil. This is going to be a really fun pattern that goes right behind that very bold love you greeting. So first I'm going to take the pre-printed card and I'm placing that stencil right over the top. I'm going to flip both of these over and using some temporary tape, in this case some purple tape, I'm just going to tape these two together. And I'm doing this from the back so that I can have my stencil design go all the way from edge to edge. I'm using some Gina K Designs inks today, starting out with Key Lime, and I'm using a very, very small blender brush from Honeybee. I'm going to use this little tiny brush and then another kind of smaller-ish brush as well. Starting with the Key Lime shade and kind of filling in a bunch of the different leaves on this stencil design. Near the bottom of the stencil design, I switched to a little bit more of an intense green. I switched to Jelly Bean green, and just having 2 different tones of green is going to give it a lot of variation. For the centers of the flowers, I used Wild Dandelion ink, also from Gina K Designs, and I'm bringing that yellow out a little bit away from the center of the flowers because I want that color to sort of blend into what is on the petals. So I'm going to be having these flowers be 2 different colors. This first color is Lipstick. It's kind of a very intense red. It's almost like a reddish orange shade, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's kind of one of these colors that I'm obsessed with at the moment. And it looks really great with Passionate Pink, which is more of a magenta, kind of purplish pink shade. It's a really, really beautiful color. And these daisies kind of made me think of Gerbera daisies, which are much more colorful than just the usual white or yellow daisies that we see a lot. So I thought I would kind of make this whole daisy bouquet Gerbera daisies. So after I had those blended, I peeled up that stencil, and I'm left with this design. Now you can leave it just like this if you want, but I find that adding just a little bit of color in like behind each of these kind of areas gives it a little bit more of a finished look, almost as if the colors are bleeding out from those shapes. So I took the colors of the flowers, and since I used Passionate Pink on those 3 flowers, I just blended a little bit of Passionate Pink over the top. I did the same with the flowers that are the lipstick shade, and then also the leaves, and just adding this kind of very soft bloom of color around all of these shapes, all of these leaves and flowers, just gives it a kind of ethereal and a more finished look, I think. Gives it a more of a finished background. So after I had all of that blended, I was really loving this design, but I also wanted that love you to stand out even more. So I took a white Jelly Roll pen. This is a number 10 bold Jelly Roll pen, and I very carefully outlined the black lettering. Now you could definitely skip this step if you want. There are a bunch of different ways you can use these cards. They are printed with toner, so if you want, you can actually run this card through a laminator or a ink machine or a foiling machine and add foil on top, and it looks really, really neat. The smooth cardstock takes that foil really well, and you could actually have the greetings be foiled. I think that would look really, really neat. In this case, I kept it simple, just adding that white outline really makes the greeting stand out. Now I'm going to turn this into a card, so I need a card base. Making my card base out of some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, and I've scored that at 5 1/2 to create a top folding card. Put some Tombow Extreme adhesive around the edges and in the center of that card base, and then pressed my ink blended piece right on top. And that finishes the card. This was a super simple card. You could modify it if you have a large greeting stamp as well, if you don't have these printed cards. Thanks for watching today. I will be back very soon, and you can get all the supplies I used today over at SimonsStamp.com. Thanks for watching.